everyone, what's going on? Joey here, and last night was the season premiere of The Masked Dancer, and man, was it a powerhouse. There are so many things I want to talk to you guys about. We're going to go through the pitch correct audio, the clues, a couple spoilers. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. Let's get started. So yeah, last night, man, I honestly... going into this show, there was a lot of things I did not expect, and to start the show off the way that they did with that 2-minute long choreographed dance number with Craig coming out and dancing with everyone, it was amazing. Here's a clip. I'm taking out the audio just because I know they would flag this video and take it down anyway, so here you go. So man, that really was a great way to start off the show. It really set the tone because keep in mind, The Masked Singer, Masked Dancer are two completely different shows. While the other one is singing, this is not. This is dancing. It's all done by the moves, and it seems like there was like 20-something people on stage dancing, and they really did a fantastic job. Now, last night we were introduced to a ton of different people. Craig Robinson, who is the host of the show. Ken, who you already know from all the other shows he does. You met Ashley Tisdale, Brian Austin Green, who was a contestant on The Masked Singer, now a judge on here, and Paula Abdul, who is a famous singer and dancer. Last night we finally got to see half of the people behind us. We got to see Group Fire, which was the cricket, the Hammerhead shark, the disco ball, the exotic bird, and the Tulip. They all did their thing, and there are so many different things I could talk about with what the difference is between this show and The Masked Singer, which I am planning to do an entire video on, so make sure you are subscribed with that bell icon hit. Make sure you hit the bell icon. That way, when I do put it online, you can go ahead and get notified about it right away. But let's dive into last night's recap, and we finally had our first reveal, the first 1 out of 10, and it was bada-bada-boom, the disco ball, and it was iced tea. That's right. It kind of really is funny that it was iced tea, because in the clue package, they showed the iced tea and the gavel and things like that. But if you follow our show, you do know that means if you're off the show, you get the golden X, which means you're no longer in the running for the Super 6, the top spot, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to put the X on top of him. Remember, if you want to download these playing cards or the board, you can get them for free. Just jump back. I think now it's 3 or 4 videos ago where I believe this is the backdrop. You can get it all for free. You just get to download the files, go like the Walgreens and print them out. Not a sponsor. But let's go through everything we know about the show. Now, Ice-T, which was interesting because he said during there that he did the show after watching The Masked Singer. He saw Lil Wayne on the show and was like, oh man, I got to get on. Then he saw Busta and he's like, darn, I really got to get on this show. But I'm happy that they started this episode off, this season off, with an easy one for us. We do know there's a lot of harder ones because there's 4 people left in Group Fire, aka Group A. And let's go through the clues that we have for them. Now, speaking about clues, the biggest thing we're going to talk about doing this entire thing is the brand new thing called Word Up. That's where the celebrity goes ahead and they mention one word that describes them that's a massive clue. But the catch is this. Ready for this? There is no voice modulation on it, so you hear the real celebrity voice, and it's kind of really funny because Craig goes ahead and says this.
For the first time in masked history, we hear their actual speaking voice.
For the first time ever! And I'm laughing because my wife looks at me and since episode 1 of season 1 of The Masked Singer, we've been doing that for all of the clue packages. Now, normally we would pitch correct when they're talking to the judges, but they don't really do that this season. They did it once for the Hammerhead, which we're using that for. But for everyone else, we're going through the clue packages, and we are still going ahead and pitch correcting the audio. So while maybe this might be the first time that they did it on TV, we've been doing it ever since. And that's probably why you come on this channel. Now, I will do all the pitch correct audio for you. I'm just going to save it to the end of the video, so we'll go through all the clues and everything we know about the characters, the 4 remaining in Group Fire, and then from there we'll play the pitch correct audio for you guys. But anyway, let's go ahead and go through the recap and the clues that we have for last night. Starting off with the Hammerhead because he was the first one to come out. And man, was he a powerhouse. He started off with Backstreet Boys, Everybody, which, I mean, I'm really happy that they are choosing these kinds of songs. What I mean by this is, if you go back to The Masked Singer, the songs they sing are sung by background singers and, of course, the person behind it. So you never actually hear a real song besides the theme song, the Who Is It? Who, which is by The Who. Now they actually play full versions of real songs. So they actually play the Backstreet Boys and just like the Pointer Sisters and other things later on. They're playing the real music from the songs and the celebrities. So, I don't know, it kind of adds a little bit to it. Starting off with him, he really did not look like a professional dancer, but he had a ton of energy, which means that he probably is something on stage. Not a dancer, but probably something on stage. There were a lot of clues referencing to ocean and swimming, so we could assume that this person maybe is one of the Olympic medals that we have on there. For the master list, by the way. Going back to that master list. We're always going back to that master list. Some of the things that we want to mention from the clue package, if you're like me, you wrote them down on your computer because there are a lot. His clue package says that he's a workaholic. A lot of athletes are. But things had never came easy to him. He said that he had early fame that didn't fulfill him in a way that he thought it would, saying that he departed for who he was and shifted to who I thought everyone wanted him to be. And he realized that he was not happy. There were a lot of visual clues. We saw a bullet, a cup of joe. It looked like they were putting something in. I don't know if it was tea or something like that. We saw a burger with, as everyone says, there was a little bit of carrot on there. It's not carrot head. We saw a painting. They were painting. We saw a timer. We saw a gold medal, and then things went in reverse, which was kind of interesting. One thing that he did that no one else did, he actually talked to the judges. He mentioned that whenever he's at the party, he gets everyone lit. He said, and this is what was interesting, his word up clue was dramatic. So maybe he is an actor, maybe he's on Broadway, maybe he's a swimmer. Who knows? He does a lot of dramatic things. The panel's guesses were Carrot Top, Niall Horan, Liam Payne, Joe Jonas, or Zac Efron. So those are the guesses and the clues that we have for the Hammerhead. Next up was the Tulip. She performed to Fergie's Fergalicious. By the way, listening to the songs, were you also dancing in your seat? Because I was. And believe you me, my wife was looking at me like... But, I mean, you're watching this, and just like with the sing-along, you want to sing along and really get into it. I'm kind of wanting to dance while they're dancing. That's a side effect I didn't realize from this show that you kind of get. She was definitely a professional dancer. As you know, she started tap dancing on stage, which is very hard. I used to tap dance and a very, very, very long time ago. Still have my tap shoes, by the way. Some of the clues we had, she made references to Stranger Things in High School Musical. She said, we're all in this together, which is a song from there, which was, we're all in this together, once you know, do-do-do-do-do-do. I don't know the words, something like that. I should know the words. She showed off her dance skills with the tap dancing, and her major clues were really the TikTok, which was on the clock. So this person's obviously on TikTok. Plus, they showed that symbol, which I didn't know was actually the symbol from TikTok. I'm on TikTok, and I didn't even know that. We saw the number 11 on a cereal box. Maybe this person was on a cereal box. We saw scrambled eggs, a field, a rainbow, and her word up clue was triple. There are major clues that I think that Paula was trying to get out of, which was the ponytail thing with her Ariana Grande guess. I mean, I don't think Ariana Grande would do this show, but I don't know. You guys tell me, do you think that ponytail thing was a clue? I think maybe every girl on the show always had their hair up in a way, right? I mean, you're dancing, hair might get in the way if it's under your mask. I don't know. I don't think that's really a clue. Now, their guesses are Addison Rae, Charlie D'Amico, Ariana Grande, and Heather Morris. After this was the Cricket, which, as you know, Ken's next comedy tour, Crickets. Look, Craig was quite funny last night, though I do have to say, the one person who took the cake for me was Ashley. She did some really good jabs at people last night. He danced to the Pointer Sisters' Jump. His dance moves were alright. They weren't like the most amazingest, but they weren't like, oh, he's a nobody kind of thing. The major clues that we had, he said that I had never thought I'd be on a show like this before, which tells us that he's not a professional dancer. He referenced of getting punked. That's why they kind of got everything from Ashton Kutcher. He talked about his current partner, saying that at first he wasn't lucky at love, but then he hit the jackpot. We see the number 12, which was on like that number sign for food. He said that they are the ultimate power couple, referring to him and a partner as a rock and apprentice, which means maybe they were all on a TV show. And she taught him the art of balance, which tells me that maybe this person was famous before this guy and kind of knew the industry for a while. So maybe there's an age gap kind of there. We saw Vegas. We saw 90210, which Brian Austin Green, you should know who this might be. We saw bombs on the slot machine that kind of came up, which I don't really not sure. It's kind of cartoonish. Maybe they play cartoons or something. Or not cartoons, video games. We saw gold bars times 10 on the slot machine. And of course, the whole Casino Vegas vibe we got going on. His up clue was, his word up clue. You hear me, the up clue? His word up clue was accomplished. And their guesses were Ryan Reynolds, which would be cool because he was on the South Korean version of The Masked Singer. They said Jim Carrey or Ashton Kutcher. I don't think any of them could be them, going by these clues. Because I don't think any of them really performed a lot in Vegas. Because there's a lot of Vegas vibes there. And when we get to the pitch correct audio, you'll hear what I'm saying. Now the last contestant, the exotic bird, which I still think they could have picked a little better name than that. She performed to Daddy Yankee and Katy Perry's Con Calma, which I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. She didn't look like a professional dancer, but definitely is an athlete. Obviously, you had all those references to running, but the way she was on stage kind of looked muscular in a way. She really was getting around there. The clues were that we had a narrator over her voice for some reason, kind of telling her story, which is a clue. I don't know how it's a clue, but I know it's a clue because no one else had that. It's something different. Tell me if you may know what that may be for. So she interrupted that. We see fireworks, we see them running, we see a track number 17 as they're going. We hear bang and glitter came out of a gun, so maybe someone who's comedic sort of, but also an athlete, a runner, maybe one of the Olympic golds belong to this person. We see a perfume, so think of someone who's an athlete that has a perfume. Maybe think of something like that. We see a Venus flytrap. Maybe this person was in Broadway, Little Shop of Horrors. We saw the eggs that said Best by 2007, or at least 07. And we saw baking supplies. She said she felt attacked a lot. She felt attacked for losing, for her relationships, and for just being a big bird. And her word up clue was scored. The guesses that the judges gave were Marion Jones, Hope Solo, Jennifer Hudson, and Venus. Those were all the clues. And all their guesses, let me know who you think they are. Let's go through the pitch correct audio. Now, for everyone except for the Hammerhead, we pitch corrected the clue package and we kind of matched it up to their speaking voice with the word up. So you know the voice is going to be 100% spot on. The hammer is a little bit easier because whenever they talk to the judges, the audio is just so much easier to get and to pitch correct. So here is all of the audio. Enjoy.
When I come on the stage and I'm at a party, something kicks in and I get everybody lit. I bring the hammer every time. Let's go.
When I come on the stage and I'm at a party, something kicks in and I get everybody lit. I bring the hammer every time. Let's go.
Hey guys, I thought I wouldn't have anything to talk about in this video, but then I found this gem. I don't want this to sound like one of those good guy, bad guy stories.
Hey guys, I thought I wouldn't have anything to talk about in this video, but then I found this gem. I don't want this to sound like one of those good guy, bad guy stories.
Honestly, I never thought I would do a show like this. Me? Cricket? Dancing? No way.
Honestly, I never thought I would do a show like this. Me? Cricket? Dancing? No way.
Hey, who said that? Get out of here. This is my story. I'm Exotic Bird, and here's a few things about me.
I'm Exotic Bird, and here's a few things about me. As you can probably tell, I'm a little competitive. I started when I was a teenager.
So feel free to comment below who you think anyone is. I'll be honest with you, I don't really have any guesses yet. You know, I like to wait at least 2 to 3 episodes in before I do any guesses. But stay tuned for another Pitch Correct audio video. We're going to go through the comparison between The Masked Singer and The Masked Dancer. And I have a behind-the-scenes video about, and this is really, really interesting, the backup singers, dancers, and the kind of like people who stand in for the celebrities. We'll get to that in a few days. Anyway, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I'm Joey. I'll see you guys later. Bye.